Hello and welcome again to the X Factory family. This is another Paul Sinclair voiceover video, and this time I've chosen a recent race from the Summit RC Shootout in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Had a good battle, good two-wheel drive main, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So without further ado, here we go. I qualified fourth behind Joe Laws, Adam Rails, and Dave. I'm sorry, Dave, I don't remember your last name. Dave drove not necessarily the fastest laps, but just super consistent to take TQ. I think the first 4 or 5 of us were within like 2 seconds after 3 rounds of qualifying. Anyway, get into some early trouble here. Joe Law caught that pipe over the corner table, and I just tried to jump over him and ended up clipping his wing and flipping over. And I'm not sure if I was just following too tight. It's pretty much a freight train, so what are you going to do? You know, you can't back out of it, and I just wish I'd been able to go around like Jacob Robbins did behind me. But yeah, so back in the pack again, and one of the reasons I chose this video is I hope you'll see, I came down from the driver's stand feeling like I'd just driven the wheels off my car. I don't know if I could have gone any faster. I mean, obviously, you know, through traffic and whatnot here, but I really thought I drove a good, clean, hard race. And over 7 minutes, I mean, I'm sure all of you guys know it's really hard to concentrate for this long. With the spin out there trying to push one of the John Barons out of the way. So yeah, drop back down to 9th. Chaz follows the wrong car here for a little bit. Something coming up here. In fact, it was funny because we were talking just before the race. I run a 7.5, a Viper 7.5 in my car. And especially on this kind of track where there's no real straightaway and it's kind of a low medium traction where it's hard to manage that much power. But it comes in handy sometimes, as you'll see here. Watch John Barron and the blue and yellow Rossi car. They come together right here. And with that 7.5, I'm able to just power through there and get a little squirrely. I kind of blew that corner, but I was able to pass both of them and make it clean. There was 2 more cars wrecked upside down, and in the space of about 10 seconds, I think I passed 4 people. So good job, Viper Motor. Good job, Paul's trigger finger. And here we are. I think we're in 5th spot now. Chasing down, we should see Dave Perez with the Durango. And I was just on a mission now. I was kind of watching where the leaders were relative to my position, and as I moved through that field, I recognized that they weren't terribly far ahead of me. You can see them going through the S sections here. And so I was on a mission to catch these guys. And like I said, I just drove the wheels off my car. Setting up Dave Perez here for a nice inside-outside on the straightaway. Get by. There's nothing he can do. Beautiful corner there. Cut the door, and I'm pretty much gone. He's not going to be able to stay with me. It felt really good. I think that might have been probably my fastest lap of the race. So now we're back up into 4th spot, and Jacob Robbins, who qualified ahead of me, I had a really good battle with him in short course, by the way. He TQ'd and won that. I finished 2nd. But in two-wheel, it was a different story. He made a few little bobbles here and there. Yes, he goes wide, and I'm just right on the lines. Little mistake in the rhythm section. Allows you to get out. And that right there, I'm going to point it out a few times. One thing that I wasn't happy with my car is that it was a little unstable coming down off that tabletop sometimes, or going off the roller on the right side front of the track. You can kind of see it in the video. I've watched it a few times, and the rear end just doesn't want to settle down nicely and drive. I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe Jacob makes a mistake and I'm by. See, that was a clean pass right there, but watch that section on that lower left, and you'll see, I'll try to point out the next time it happens, but sometimes I'd come down and I'd get on the power, and maybe I was a little too hard on the power or something setup-wise, but the car didn't want to, like, settle down. You can see the rear end, you know, is shifting the weight left to right instead of just driving. That was all right. I think, actually, what it might have been, I'm running an ounce of weight in front of my servo on my two-wheel. And that's generally pretty good running like J-Concepts Groovies. But at this track, I like to run cut-down double D fronts. They're a nice smooth tire on this kind of loose surface. They just give consistent steering throughout the corner. But the only downside is they're heavy. They have that glue joint because you had to cut down the middle and glue them together. I put a lot of foam in them, and the tires there's a lot of rubber there. And so I wonder if maybe it's almost a thing of too much weight up front. So when it's coming down that downhill, the front doesn't release. But we're about halfway through the race now, and just kind of like the last video, just putting my head down and running hard. You can see the leaders. I'm in third right now, and the leaders are getting through traffic. So hoping to close the gap here. This is a fun layout. Notice there's no full straightaway, but more like 3 kind of broken up straightaways. It could use a little more airtime, but it's a lot of fun to drive around. You get in a good rhythm, and everything flows well together. Left side is kind of like a road course, and yeah, I caught a big break here. See those 2 back markers? I was able to get around. They kind of took each other out for me, and I was able to get around. And now we're really, small mistake, but now we're really pressing hard because second place Adam Rails is in my sight. You can see there he was. Going through that little off camber right there was a lot of fun when you got it right. Little mistake though through the rhythm section, that sets me back. And but here, what I'm hoping in the back of my mind, like I said, I'm watching the leaders and trying to drive as hard as I can. And what you know in third place, when the first 2 guys are battling it out, you know that they're not running fast laps. And so you just got to keep in mind and keep chomping at the bit and keep your concentration. There, see, there's a little bit of that looseness I was talking about with the setup. I don't know if maybe a harder rear spring or just changing those tires back. It's hard to say. But we are on a mission here. I think we're catching them, maybe, you know, a few feet. But like I said, when the leaders are battling it out, that's your time in third place to catch them. So the clock was winding down, and I knew I had to catch up with them. It looked like we were going to hit a bonus lap, and I knew that I had to catch up with them, and I didn't want to get caught at the line. So really, I mean, there's nothing a whole lot to say here. Just drive as hard as you can, you know. And you can see, yep, we're slowly catching them. Dave and Adam in front of me. Down the straightaway we go. The track, you can see, it kind of grooved, but it was a real slippery groove, kind of more of a polish than a high traction rubber groove. Thanks to the back marker for letting me by. And see, now we're making it a race. We're coming hard. This is the second to last lap. I think the announcer called the time remaining. And like I said, I just knew that I had to make sure I got by the line. And in fact, I blew this corner a little bit. You see, I was a little wide, but I wanted to accelerate down there and make sure I got on this lap. So now it's just let it all hang out. Because I know I have third locked up, so what could go wrong, you know? See, the front 2 are battling. Adam's looking for a way around Dave. He looks to the inside. Dave gets the inside back through the switchbacks, and suddenly here I am. Try for a look on the start of the straightaways, nothing there. Come in hard, and shit, get tangled with Adam. And that was it. Settled for third place. But after coming back from 9th, I was really happy with how that turned out.
You were faster than they were.
Just wanted to share kind of a nice, hard, workman-like job with you guys. Really happy with my car and the way it was running. Talk to you guys later.